Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a three-time Pro Bowler, Derek Carr, leading the Oakland Raiders as they square off with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Before kickoff, Charles, quickly your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I could give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Derek Carr is set and ready to roll as he leads the Raiders out onto the field. Carr in his 6th season, 28 years of age, former second-round pick back in 2014, and a lot of people feel this is a critical season for Derek Carr as a Raider. Remember, there were whispers that the Raiders might be in the market for a QB in the draft, even contemplated maybe making a run at Kyler Murray, but in the end, they stood pat with Derek Carr, hoping that he's the long-term answer. Carr now on first down. It got his man complete. Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Antonio Brown, 75 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Wow, first play in the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, he spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And that makes it 7-zip Oakland. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's the second-year man from San Diego State, Rashad Penny. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson sliding it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Brandon Marshall.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's got Lockett. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that 1st down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He will find the rookie from Ole Miss. That's DK Metcalf. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Check. Hey, check 24. Check 25.
To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Right here.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he's going to be close to a 1st down as he gets this to the Raiders' 21.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Check 55 to Mike. Yeah. You don't want none.
On 3rd down, it's Carson, and he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Wilson defers to Penny here on the draw. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Watch tight end. Hey.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. Powers through. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A 3-yard touchdown run as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
It means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people. The power is way forward.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Oakland set to get the football here in a second. You know, some teams, they sort of kind of do their training camp quietly, not make a lot of noise, and then there's the Raiders. I mean, where to start? You start with Antonio Brown in the last month or so. He'd arrived at Steeler camp previously in a helicopter or a Rolls Royce, so he shows up to his first Raider camp in what, Charles? A hot air balloon. Well, it is Napa.
It is Napa, and it makes a whole lot of sense, doesn't it? We got a chance to see the beautiful countryside as he floated in. And then, of course, came the foot issues.
Yes. Boy, we've all seen that picture one too many times.
Can't unsee it. All right? And so it was cryotherapy gone wrong in France. Didn't have the proper protection, and he burned the bottom of his feet. Then we get to the helmet issues because he has a helmet that the NFL says is no longer certified. This is past his 10-year limit. He still wants to wear it. Took a grievance to the NFL. Lost the grievance hearing. So we got to find out if he's going to put on a different helmet and come out and play.
Yeah, on social media, he said, hey, if anybody has this helmet, this is what I'm looking for. Please send it to me.
He just needs it certified starting 2011 to fit inside the league timeline, but he hasn't found one yet. But you did say these are the Raiders, right? Never a dull moment in their camp.
And, of course, they'll have the TV cameras following them all camp and preseason long. Don't you worry. You're going to get your fill of the Oakland Raiders. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. This is Jalen Richard, the 4th-year man from Southern Miss. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. These 2 teams all tied after 1. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. Now on 2nd and 13. Carr over the middle here to Brown. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 16.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Carr will try it again on 2nd down. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Carr to throw again. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller there to make the grab. And the Raiders have taken the lead.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. And racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. Carlson now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
Now out comes Seattle here. We'll see their offense going in just a second. Speaking of that offense, for Russell Wilson, they went out in the draft this year, got him a couple new options out wide, did they not?
They did, and you can see that they're changing their offensive philosophy a little bit. Remember Doug Baldwin, who was a great target, especially on the underneath throws, he's retired. So strategically, because they run the heck out of the football, Chris Carson was a 1,000-yard runner. They expect more from Rashad Penny this year. They want to have the ability to throw the ball deep, and the only guy they had previously, Tyler Lockett, who's going to play in the slot now with Doug Baldwin retired. So they went out and got DK Metcalf in the 2nd round out of Ole Miss, got Gary Jennings from West Virginia in the 4th round, and both of them can fly. Look for Russell Wilson, who throws a really pretty deep ball, to take advantage of that this season.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
To the right side, and he's got more complete. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense, exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson, that's complete into the hands of Carson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
That play was well covered, just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, we're not able to find any yardage on that one.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Play action. Now Wilson. And he's got his target. That's more. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 44-yard line. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. On the delay, here's Carson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Throwing is Wilson. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 32-yard line. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far.
Back.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Wilson on target there to Moore. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Wilson to throw. Incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. And that right there, his first incompletion of the game, pretty remarkable.
So let's start talking about all-time records, because with that incompletion, maybe over a 2-game sequence, or maybe starts a new streak now, because Ryan Tannehill, over 2 games, hit 25 straight. Now, the incompletion, we're taking this record out of play. But Mark Brunell, when he was at Washington, 22 straight completions to start a game. This guy's on fire.
The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Mike 54. It's our field.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carson. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Again, Wilson. It's caught, Lockett. It's so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Give him 14 on that one, and a first down. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. To throw again is Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf there to make the grab, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
Now Myers for the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So that drive spans 13 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And we're under a minute to go here. What's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
First and 10. Here's Carr. Throw left side, taken in by Renfro. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Shotgun now for Carr. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. First 9 seasons in the league for Brown were, of course, in Pittsburgh. Last year, though, growing concerns of his dissatisfaction in his role with the Steelers and the quibbles with Ben Roethlisberger. So he ends up being traded to the Raiders in March. 7-time Pro Bowler, 6 straight years of at least 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns. Not a bad stretch. What a talent for Derek Carr to have on his side. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
After review of the play,
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Carr. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Quentin Jefferson able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far, so maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely, and that sack finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. The final shot here before half for Carr. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. But they are all even to this point. So to see if either side can pull away, let's get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the start of the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. Second half begins with a run from Penny, and he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Looking left side. That's caught by Moore.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Target.
Now it's Carson, and he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Wilson, pass incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
It's 4th down.
So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And that is no good. And we will remain tied here in this 3rd quarter.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Raider offense led by Antonio Brown heading back out. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points?
And break this tie. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Carr, he's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, To me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot and then connected there and picked up a first down.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 27. Now Carr again. Caught outright by Renfro. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 10 more there and another first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Monday, down. Get the ball.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and it's second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr gives to Richard. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. They run it with Jacobs. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Carr now to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
The tight end, the ball carrier, intended for Foster Moreau.
So the ref makes a call, no touchdown there, wipe it off the board. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal. From the gun, Carr. That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr as his guys are able to regain the lead. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Carlson on for the PAT. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And an alley to run. Tyler Lockett, the 30. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A 93-yard kickoff return as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
The extra point now coming from Myers. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. Still one of the most exciting plays in football, the kick return. Shows why there. 93 yards on that return for 6. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Carr. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Here's Carr to throw. And Waller taking it in over the middle. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
Throwing again on second down. Carr, he'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 41-yard line. Back now in Seattle, Washington. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. So that one will be accepted. A full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
But obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
It's a gain of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Carr. He gets it to Brown, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's at the cornerback position.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, They use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That time, a 9-play drive. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Wilson of the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there of 22. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And it's hauled in by Nick Vanette. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. This is Carson. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On second down, Jacobs. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Throwing now is Carr. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's the Raiders punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Back to throw. They set up the screen to Penny. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Oh, I know it goes against the grain here. It totally goes against it, but you've got to drop the ball in that situation. He makes a catch, but he loses yards and doesn't get out of bounds.
Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go.
Mike, 55. Check, 55.
Now Wilson back into his end zone. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Here's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Now we've reached the 1 minute mark in this game. Now Wilson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Cleveland Farrell in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Brandon, you got to have some urgency here. You got to get the guys back to the line of scrimmage, but the problem is they're all 30 yards downfield after that play.
Clock rolling here, about to hit 30 seconds. Play action. Now Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on third and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
He'll look to throw. And this is caught. He hits more. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
We taking wins home.
He's back to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. From midfield now, here's Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down.
Brings up second and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10.
That's the way.
One last shot for Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Seattle.